Today we're going to create a book cover in Photoshop. And so the first thing I've done is I've opened up this photograph of a guitar and we need to extract it off of its background. Now when we go to do this, we can start with our quick selection, our object selection tool, and just say select subject, and we'll just wait for it. And you can see that it has done some thinking about what it wants to select. Now, the thing is, when you zoom in, you'll notice that it didn't do a great job in some of these areas. So it's got some extra around here that we're going to want to refine. You can do that a couple of ways. You can use your select and mask tool. You can also use your lasso tool to just, refine that edge on your own before we get that onto its book cover where we're going to place it. I do have another video that I show you all of those different methods. You could go into select and mask. I'll just do that quickly here for you just to show you how that would work. You can have it on onion skin, on black, etc., so that you can see exactly what you're doing. Your refine edge brush will do some good job of just refining that contrast. You just kind of select around it like this. However, you can see that it doesn't do a perfect job of grabbing it. So what happens is we still end up missing piece of it. I'll just show you here with the marching ants. That refine edge tool, again, it tries to do things based on the contrast. I could increase my contrast slider a little bit and try and grab this a little bit better. But we're not going to have it in here because of the way that gray doesn't contrast enough with the white. So once you've got a decent selection, still not a perfect selection, what you can do is make sure that you output that to a new layer with a layer mask. And that way, once we output it to that, you can still come in and you can refine it, because on that mask now, I can come in with my brush, use a hard brush on that one. And if I paint with black, remember, I'm hiding more of it. If I paint with white, I'm bringing it back. So here I can paint with white, and you can see I can just bring that back so that I've got a great selection on the edge. You can also do that by choosing things like your polygonal lasso. So in here, I would want to bring back all of these areas down the fret like so. And now to bring that back, of course, I would paint with white inside of it. So we'll get my brush again and I can paint. You see now it's very straight inside there. So your first job is go and make a great selection of your entire guitar, and then we'll move it over into our other document. All right, so I have a good selection. Now I'm going to start my book cover. So File, New, just grab a print full-size piece of paper. That'll keep it at a 300 resolution for us. We're going to need to have our rulers turned on. Now, if yours are not on, you want to make sure that you say view rulers. And then on your ruler, let's put it to make sure it's in inches. So I've right-clicked on my ruler to put it into inches. We want to set some guides. And so you can either click your ruler and drag down until you get to a spot, but sometimes it's hard to get it exactly where you want it. So the other thing we can do is we can go to view and we can say guides, and we can make a new guide. And what I want to do is I want to put guides about an inch or even maybe a little bit more. I'm going to go a 1.25 inch from my left edge, and I'll set another guide at 1.25 inches also on the horizontal. And then I'll do the same thing, 1.25 inches in from the edge. So if I'm looking at my ruler, I've got an 8.5. 1.25 inches in from that would be at the 7.25 mark. It's new guides. I want a vertical guide at 7.25. There we go. And now I'll do my horizontal one. View guide, new guide at horizontal 1.25 inches in. So 11 inches is my piece of paper. 1.25 inches in would be at the 9.75 inch mark. And there are my 4 guides. I'm going to draw a shape, the shape tool, and I get in there and I draw a shape. It will snap to it. Now I can bring my guitar over from my other document. So go here, use your move tool, grab it, drag it, don't let go, come back down to the center, let go, and now my guitar is in there. I probably want to transform it just a little bit smaller, but you do want it so that it is sticking out on both edges into your margin. And we're starting to build our book cover now. So here I've added my text to it. Please make sure that you play around with your character palette in order to have the tracking and kerning and line height and your fonts that are chosen suitably. You might want to also check with your colors as well. So as an example here, maybe I would want my text for my name to not be that same red, but instead maybe I want to go and I want to grab the gold and just see how that looks in there. And I could do the same thing on this text then here by triple clicking. I could grab it and go and get that exact same gold out of there. And so just use some colors that you know from your color theory that are suitable, and make sure that everything is centered nicely, that your guitar sticks over the edge. Watch for your unity and your balance like we've done in our previous assignments.